Zakk Wylde reflects on Ozzy Osbourne's last message. The story of Zakk Wylde's final heartfelt connection with Ozzy Osbourne is truly touching, and it reveals a side of their relationship that many fans might not expect. But here's where it gets controversial. Wylde's recent revelations about their last moments together shed light on the raw human side of legendary rock icons, reminding us that even the biggest stars face moments of vulnerability. If you think you know everything about Ozzy's final days, think again. Zakk Wylde, the guitarist who has been a close part of Ozzy Osbourne's life since 1987, shared the last message he received from the Prince of Darkness before he passed away on July 22nd. In a candid interview, Wylde reflected on their history, especially focusing on their final performance together, which took place at Sabbath's Back to the Beginning concert, a moment that felt both historic and emotional. During that performance, Wylde recounted an incident that perfectly captures the unpredictable chaos of live shows. As they performed Mama, I'm Coming Home, Ozzy's voice was struggling with certain high notes. Wylde remembered having to stay close to the microphone to double Ozzy's vocals, describing how the situation was almost comically hectic. He explained, I had to be like, keep the guitar away from the microphone so I can sing. At one point, he realized he needed to physically reposition himself, almost stopping his playing, lifting his guitar over the mic, akin to juggling balls while skating on a skateboard. Wylde's humorous takeaway? It was pretty funny. It's supposed to be the most important show ever, but everything's on the fly. Wylde said he last saw Ozzy at the end of Sabbath's set, though he had hoped to catch him backstage afterwards. Instead, when Wylde finally looked for him, the dressing room was packed with people. Wanting to give Ozzy some space, Wylde chose not to interrupt, expecting they'd see each other later. The final exchange through a text message was simple, but profoundly meaningful. Ozzy's last words to Wylde read, Zachy, sorry, it was like a madhouse back there. I didn't see you. Thanks for everything. That message culminated with their brief but heartfelt private conversation. I love you, buddy. Reflecting on his relationship with Ozzy, Wylde expressed deep gratitude, stating that Ozzy was a guiding force in his life and career. He gave me purpose to be a musician. And without a doubt, that'll always be with me. Wylde also praised Ozzy's generosity, highlighting his dedication to charity work, noting how his final efforts involved massive fundraising events that prioritized helping others over making profit. Wylde described Ozzy as an extraordinary person and a life that inspired millions. As fans now mourn, the story concludes with moving visuals of Ozzy's funeral procession, which was led by his wife and children through his childhood hometown, a touching tribute to a profound legacy. This story reminds us that even icons like Ozzy are deeply human, full of love, humor, and humility, leaving us with questions about how we remember and honor such legendary figures. Do you believe that understanding their personal moments changes how we'll view their legacies? Or do you think some stories should stay private? Feel free to share your thoughts. Ozzy Osbourne laid to rest, a tribute to the Prince of Darkness. The world mourns the loss of a rock legend as Ozzy Osbourne, the iconic frontman of Black Sabbath, is laid to rest in a private funeral near his home in England. After a long battle with Parkinson's disease, the Prince of Darkness passed away on July 22nd at the age of 76, leaving behind a legacy that will forever be etched in the annals of rock history. Ozzy's family, friends, and fans gathered to say their final goodbyes during a public service procession in his hometown of Birmingham, England, on July 30th. The procession, which was attended by his wife Sharon Osbourne and their children Amy, Kelly, and Jack, as well as Ozzy's son Louis, was accompanied by a live brass band consisting of local artists and members of Black Sabbath. The procession made its way to the city's Black Sabbath bridge and bench, where fans left flowers and messages for the rock icon. The public proceedings were followed by a private funeral at Ozzy's Buckinghamshire home, where he was buried surrounded by his family and fellow musicians, including Zakk Wylde and Marilyn Manson. Birmingham Mayor Zafar Iqbal expressed the city's support for a fitting tribute to the rock legend, stating, "We know how much this moment will mean to his fans." In the days following Ozzy's death, dozens of stars paid tribute to the rock icon both on social media and on stage. Lady Gaga and Cyndi Lauper played Ozzy's 1980 solo single, Crazy Train, during their respective concerts, while Johnny Depp joined Alice Cooper for a performance of Black Sabbath's Paranoid. Coldplay also performed a rendition of the band's 1972 song, Changes, and dedicated their show to his memory. Ozzy's children Jessica and Lewis, from his marriage to ex-wife Thelma Riley, shared subtle tributes to their father, while Kelly spoke out about her loss in an Instagram post, writing that she lost the best friend I ever had. In the weeks leading up to his death, Ozzy reunited with his Black Sabbath bandmates Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward for their final performance. However, his health was declining, as noted by his sister Jean Powell, who told The Mirror that he could not stand up straight but was still cracking jokes. The loss of Ozzy Osbourne has left a void in the world of rock music that will never be filled. His music and legacy will continue to inspire generations of musicians and fans for years to come. But here's where it gets controversial. While some may argue that Ozzy's music was a negative influence on society, others will argue that his music was a form of self-expression and a way to cope with the struggles of life. What do you think? Was Ozzy Osbourne a positive or negative influence on society?